Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am Shakira Peer. In the headlines, government spends in excess of $1 million for the rehabilitation of the Check Hall Road. Carnival 2021 has been cancelled, and Dominica joined the rest of the world for the observance of International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Details of the headline stories and more when we return.
The hurricane season is less than a month away. Find out today what types of hazards that could happen where you live. Hurricanes can cause many hazards, including flooding due to heavy rainfall, large waves along the coast, strong winds, landslides, and falling rocks. Determine your risk and be prepared for any eventuality. A message from the Government Information Service.
Welcome back. Government has acquired 411 acres of land for the construction of the International Airport from 233 property owners. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit says government is still in the negotiation stage for the settlement of compensation to residents of the Westerly area based on the individual requests.
We're still in the process of negotiating. Now, there are 162 vacant properties out of the 243, okay? And negotiations have been finalized with 74 of the vacant properties, and 13 will be placed in escrow. So we continue negotiations. Some people we can't locate, and therefore this money is replaced in an escrow, so that when the owners appear, then we can continue negotiations with them. We have identified 71 built or developed properties, homes, businesses. And all built properties have been negotiated, with about 16 which will be placed in escrow. And about 57 owners requested house and land swap. The people who want land and house. There are people who want monies for their land, and there are people who want land for land.
Prime Minister Skerrit has announced that government has started paying individuals for their properties.
So we have paid, we're paying people as we go along. As we go along negotiating, we pay. We'll make payments to another 6 people next week, and another 7 in the next couple of weeks. So as we go along, and we've made payments to other people, as we go along. Now, those persons who want house and land swap, we are finalizing. There's still some tweaking that were made by the technical people on the floor plan, and we should begin construction of these homes this month.
Prime Minister Skerrit says in some instances, government will construct homes for the people who will be displaced. The Prime Minister says these people will be given comfortable and resilient homes.
The homes that we're building are resilient homes, nicely designed homes, 4-bedroom homes with laundry, with powder room, with kitchen, with 3-bedroom homes, 2-bedroom homes, and so there are also people who have whose lands are caveated by the bank, so we have to engage the financial institutions. So we're very, very careful how we approach this, and we're very responsive to the requests of the people, obviously within reason and within the confines of the laws of Dominica.
Residents of Check Hall will now benefit from a fully rehabilitated road as government is spending in excess of $1 million for this project. The project includes the construction of storm drains and culverts as government continues to build resilience by building back better and stronger. Member of Parliament for the Maho constituency, Honorable Raven Blackmore, says even in a time of financial strain due to the COVID-19 pandemic, government continues to ensure that projects such as these are a priority.
With COVID-19, we have seen a drop in the inflows of the state by way of revenue. And that notwithstanding, this administration, with the leadership of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, is proceeding to do a number of things to make the lives of Dominicans better and more comfortable. So I had a meeting along with the Minister for Public Works, and we had a meeting with the residents of Chekhall to apprise them as to the intention of this administration to address the concerns in terms of the road condition.
Phase 1 of the road rehabilitation comprises the installation of storm drains and box culverts to ensure that water can be deposited with less risk in terms of flooding and erosion possibility.
At a difficult time in one community, we are spending $1.1 million to have that done. And we're hoping, based on the schedule of works that I'm aware of, by late December, latest, to see, or I'm hoping that the people can get the road almost done before the Christmas, because they have to stay home and take care of their people and their loved ones because of the COVID situation. I think the people will be much happy to know that they have a nice road. It will be a Christmas gift.
The Member of Parliament is pleased that the contractor is from the community of Masak and 20 individuals are gainfully employed on the project, bringing economic activity to the community.
The other element to me that is actually very important about this contract is that the contractor is from Masak. And every employee you see on the road is from Masak. Today we have 20 persons plus the contractor, 21 persons gainfully employed on this project. So there's a sense of some actually benefits to the local economy in Masak.
Minister Blackmore called on residents of Chekhall to take ownership of the newly rehabilitated road.
As I've said to the people of Chekhall, I would expect them to organize themselves, sorry, as they have been able to do in the past, to plant flowers on the side of the road, make the road look nice, and I'll pass around, hoping that the people can show, as heard from eloquently from Mrs. Popo, can take on their own and to demonstrate a sense of responsibility, of ownership to that project.
Resident of Chekhall, Ms. Matilda Popo, is excited for the road, which she says will make access to that area much easier. She praised the efforts of government for making this project possible.
Absolutely, very excited because we had a road prior to this project which was unuser friendly, for want of a better word, and we really struggle on it. Vehicles, shocks went and all kind of things. And now we are seeing such a stupendous work going on. We are grateful for that. And the workers, they're doing an awesome job. And we just really want to compliment the government for taking time off, and spending some time in the community and letting the residents, feel more comfortable. So we're really much appreciative of such great action.
Dominica joined the rest of the world for the observance of International Day of Persons with Disabilities on December 3, 2020 under the theme Building Back Better Towards an Inclusive, Accessible and Sustainable Post-COVID-19 World by, for and with persons with disabilities. President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, His Excellency Charles Savre, addressed the nation on this occasion. President Savre says the day is designated to promote full and equal participation of persons with disabilities in all aspects of society and development.
We can all attest to the fact that the COVID-19 pandemic threatens all members of the society and that each one of us has been forced to grapple with its effects both individually and collectively. However, we must all admit that persons with disabilities are more severely and unevenly impacted due to hurdles that are accentuated by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Minister for Dominicans with Disabilities, Honorable Dr. Addis King, says as Minister with responsibility for Dominicans with Disabilities, she has much interest in this year's theme as Dominica has been on the road to building back better. Minister King says government is aware and has demonstrated by action its willingness to work towards ensuring all citizens, including those with physical and mental disabilities, can perform at their full potential and be valued in society.
The government of Dominica of which I have the opportunity and honor to be part of, has over the years demonstrated in very tangible ways its support for persons with disabilities. I wish to highlight a few areas. Dominica ratified the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in 2012. Government provides an annual subvention to organizations catering to the needs of persons with disabilities. Only during this financial year, we saw an increase in the subvention given to the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD. Government introduced a number of social protection programs, including the Yes We Care and National Employment Programs, NEP, where home care is provided for our vulnerable persons, including those with disabilities. And of course, the most recent financial support provided for the most vulnerable during COVID-19.
Minister King says the ministry will be conducting a census to account for persons with disabilities.
My ministry is collaborating with the Achievement Learning Center in conducting a national survey aimed at identifying all Dominicans with disabilities to include information on who and where they are, what is the nature of their disability, and her pertinent information, all in an effort to generate data which would assist government in its decision-making process to better address the needs of persons with disabilities.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities says the organization is pleased with the creation of a ministry dedicated to the cause.
Having a ministry has lifted the bar in terms of giving focus to the issues of persons with disabilities in Dominica. And we have already met with the minister on several occasions. She has our 5-year program. She knows of our plans and activities.
Mrs. Murphy says the organization has used part of the Dominica Labour Party's administration manifesto on the approach on dealing with persons with disabilities in formulating the organization's 5-year strategic plan.
We have used part of the Labour Party's manifesto, which indicated their plans, how they intend dealing with disability issues, and the fact that they want to conduct a survey. They have supporting the fact that access to the physical environment is important, the fact that persons with disabilities need to acquire skills both in technology and other marketable means so that they can be gainfully employed. And these are all the areas that the disability movement is focusing on. And with the presence and advent of the COVID pandemic, we have seen how important the use of technology has been.
The organization will be embarking on a series of trainings in the use of technology to equip its members to work in a post-COVID world.
We are going to make that aspect part of our 5-year program even stronger by ensuring that we assist persons with disabilities, not only our members, persons with disabilities, to have use and access to the technology by providing training, by providing devices, by organizing virtual conferences. Going forward, we're even looking forward to convening an annual general meeting virtually. So there's a lot ahead in terms of using the technology, and COVID has taught us that it can be done.
The government, through the Basic Needs Trust Fund, is providing assistance for the expansion of the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD facility. Mrs. Murphy says works have already begun.
Work has begun on the expansion of our facility on Canal Lane. The timber section has been demolished, and now work has begun in earnest, and we are very happy about that, and we are looking forward to its completion towards the second quarter of next year. And then we will have our grand opening, and hopefully next year we'll be able to have a bigger celebration and observance of International Day of Persons with Disabilities, and that makes us feel very good.
The Minister with responsibility for persons with disabilities is calling on families, civil society and the private sector to join hands with the government in quest to provide a safe and open environment for citizens who are differently abled. The residents of the community of Penville and the Kalinago territory will soon benefit from a community Wi-Fi network. This initiative was implemented by the government of Dominica in partnership with the Universal Service Fund, USF, and the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC. Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for telecommunications and broadcasting, Honorable Oscar George, says the Community Wi-Fi Networks project forms part of government's vision to transform Dominica's economy digitally.
Government made a commitment to transform our economy digitally, and internet access and affordability internet plays a great role in this transformation process. So, and we understand that, even though there's fiber at various communities, the cost of this fiber monthly might pose a challenge to many individuals, and as such, the decision was taken to develop community Wi-Fi networks.
Minister George says the network will be launched in 4 communities.
Initially, we will pilot this community system in 4 communities. We have successfully launched it in the community of Benz. We are currently undertaking one in the community of Penville, and we are here today also starting the initiation for the one in the Kalinago territory. Very soon, we will also see the development of a similar network in the community of Grand Fort. And that's all the whole objective of this process is just to ensure that every single person has access to affordable internet.
Minister George believes community Wi-Fi networks will assist with ensuring access to reliable internet is available for all residents in the different communities.
All stakeholders have been actively participating in this effort to ensure that there's connectivity, and I see that community Wi-Fi may be the way to go to complement fiber in the communities to ensure that access to reliable internet is a reality.
Member of Parliament for the Kalinago territory, Honorable Kozia Frederick, expressed his thanks to government for their continued efforts to uplift the vulnerable in society.
So as we move forward, we want to thank the government of Dominica for continuing to support those sort of initiatives, and also while we continue to empower local government authorities, individuals, people with vulnerabilities, small groups, and to ensure that we have that human right of internet connectivity.
Executive Director for the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC, Mr. Craig Nesty, says the Penville Community Network project will be at an estimated cost of 60,000 EC dollars and the Kalinago territory over 200,000 EC dollars.
The overall cost of that project will be about $60,000. The Kalinago territory, we're going from Antrizal, Atkinson, all the way down to Sim. That project will cost about $200,000 to 250,000 EC dollars.
He says the community Wi-Fi internet access will be free for 1 year.
It will allow for the inhabitants of the Kalinago territory to have free access to internet for 1 year and give them the opportunity to manage, troubleshoot, investigate issues around their community Wi-Fi, and give them the opportunity to own the network. So beyond that year, they'll put policies in place whereby the community will contribute to the sustainability and the longevity of the network.
Epic Communications was contracted to construct and install the networks. Managing Director of Epic Communications, Mr. Philip Arlene, says the intention is to also provide internet to residents in other parts of the community.
It'll be providing service not only in the Upper Penville area, but also in the Lower Penville and Galba areas for now, and in the very near future, we hope within the next few weeks, the Laho and Delaford areas.
Chairperson of the Penville Village Council, Francis Alexis, says the council will ensure the network is maintained.
I'm very happy and open-hearted to welcome this Wi-Fi internet service. It's a new thing for us, and we appreciate it because after Maria we have suffered much, putting a lot of data on our phone, very costly, and I know the entire area or the entire Penville will be very happy for this project, and we welcome it with open hands, and we'll do our best to maintain and to service it.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I love the freedom when I'm out there. Simply put, the worries from shore, none of that out there. And it's my daily bread. I learned it from my dad. My dad is one of the senior guys here who catch the biggest fish around here. And he's top with the red snappers. It's a family thing. I'm the only one fishing right now in the family. Just keeping it going. I enjoy bringing them up, man. Sometimes you have a yellowfin tuna, 400 pounds. Man, let me tell you, that's just a joy out there. I enjoy going out there and just holding the big fish. I don't lift weights, I lift fish. The morning of my fishing trip, I would get up, make a little spiced tea. Then I come down here. I have my GPS, which most fishermen are supposed to have that. Normally I prepare the day before, because whenever you're going out there, you must have ice. Ice is a must for preservation of the fish. So I always make sure I have everything the day before. My fish represents me, and I bring good quality fish ashore simply because the restaurants themselves, they have to show a quality product. Tourism and agriculture go hand in hand. That's what I think. We're all connected. It's like a big machine, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. My name is Brandon Carlisle, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. The government of Dominica has taken a responsible decision to cancel the Mass Dominic 2021. This was announced by the Minister for Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiatives, Honorable Dennis Charles.
I wish to inform you that after much deliberations and consultation, the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica has taken the responsible decision to cancel our annual carnival, Mass Dominic 2021. We are aware of the historical, cultural, social, and economic relevance of our carnival season. However, during this COVID-19 era, health and safety continue to be our priorities. Therefore, following discussions with key stakeholders, it was concluded that holding events of mass gatherings may pose a serious threat to our health, and this is a risk that we are not willing to take. As we have been doing in the tourism sector, we'll continue to use this period to strategize on enhancing on other events and festivals for 2021, 2022, and beyond. While we are cautiously optimistic about the state of vaccine development, production, and distribution, we are still assessing COVID-19 impact in 2021. It is hoped that we will continue to take all necessary steps to contain the spread of this deadly virus. Please follow the protocols. Wear your mask, wash and sanitize your hands, practice respiratory etiquette, and keep your distance. Stay safe, everyone.
As 2020 draws to a close, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit is looking towards the future as plans for an international airport continue to materialize for Dominica. Speaking at the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce DIC Final Eggs and Issues Breakfast for 2020, Prime Minister Skerrit says government will hand over lands procured for the construction of Dominica's much-anticipated international airport later this month. Prime Minister Skerrit went on to announce that construction work should begin in the first quarter of 2021.
We have invested millions of dollars improving our road network across the country because we recognize the importance of good motorable roads in linking producers to markets and encouraging our people and visitors to travel to different communities as a means of stimulating economic activity. While the West Coast Road has been significantly upgraded, we have turned our focus to other areas for major road rehabilitation. The improvement of access to the east of the island has begun with the mobilization of the contractor on the 23rd of November 2020. This project, which is valued at $127 million, will have significant economic impact to the communities in the east and the wider country. The redesign for the Loubier-Bacatel Road project for the south of the island is being undertaken, and the feasibility studies and preliminary design for the Portsmouth to Hartlepool Road started in October this year. This is expected to last for 10 months. Access to Dominica has always been an issue and has remained a top priority for this government. While we ensured that night landing was brought to Dominica, it was always our vision to have direct long-haul access to Dominica from major source markets. This month, we will hand over the Wesley Woodford Hill site to the developers who will begin construction of our international airport in the first quarter of 2021.
The Prime Minister encouraged the DIC to take advantage of opportunities associated with the construction of Dominica's international airports.
As entrepreneurs, I do not have to spell out for you the various opportunities that having an international airport will create for Dominica. It is directly linked to economic development, positively impacting, among other things, our tourism and trade. It will create employment and increase tax revenue, among other benefits. This will be complemented by the development of our cargo and cruise ports. And just to say to the DIC, I intend to meet with you to discuss the opportunities for the DIC in the private sector with regards to the construction of the international airport. What I will not engage in is a discussion of whether we need one or not.
Dominica joined the rest of the world in observing World AIDS Day on December 1, 2020. The theme for this year's World AIDS Day was Global Solidarity, a Shared Responsibility. Minister for Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Honorable Dr. Irving McIntyre, says the theme focuses on the joint efforts of individuals around the world in the fight against HIV and AIDS.
The theme for the 2020 observance of World AIDS Day, which is Global Solidarity, Shared Responsibility, focuses on everyone joining together and acting unitedly in the fight against AIDS and seeks to highlight the vital need for global solidarity and shared responsibility to overcome AIDS, especially in this time of COVID-19.
Minister McIntyre says for the past decade, the World Health Organization has set a target to assist with the reduction of HIV infections.
For the past decade and a half, the World Health Organization has set a target of reduction in HIV infection. The aim is to achieve the following: 90% of persons infected should know their status, 90% of these HIV-infected persons should be on antiretroviral therapy and 90% of persons who are on should be virally suppressed, which is the 90-90-90 target.
He says although COVID-19 protocols have caused disruption in access to healthcare services for HIV patients, there have been significant accomplishments in fighting the disease.
HIV and AIDS still remain major global health issues, and COVID-19 and related protocols have caused some disruption in the areas of diagnostics, prevention, treatment, and access to other healthcare services being provided to HIV patients. However, there have been significant accomplishments in combating this disease, especially in the areas of diagnostics, prevention, and treatment. These include pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP, self-testing, post-exposure prophylaxis, as well as limited vertical transmission from mother to child.
Minister McIntyre says it is important to continue taking the necessary precautions to assist with managing the disease.
In spite of these achievements, there remain challenges that are still related to this illness, and hence we must continue the required actions that will assist us in managing this disease. We must be cognizant of what has to be done and precautionary measures must be taken. A collaborative effort is of utmost importance in reaching the milestone of achieving the 90-90-90 target and the elimination of AIDS by 2030, and this we can do through a community-based approach.
He says the ministry will also continue to provide free medication to infected persons.
The ministry, through the National HIV and AIDS Response Program, NHARP, has seen the development of the Vulnerable Population Strategy and will continue to raise awareness and education about HIV and AIDS. The ministry will also continue to provide free medication for persons infected with the disease and to support the Treat All initiative.
Minister McIntyre commended the National HIV/AIDS Response Program for their dedication and commitment, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Whilst we care for our clients, the ministry will not lose sight of the significant role the staff of the National HIV/AIDS Response Program is playing in trying to achieve the 90-90-90 target. I take this opportunity to salute you all at this time and extend deepest appreciation for your dedication and commitment, especially during this period.
Meantime, coordinator for Dominica's National HIV/AIDS Response Unit and health psychologist, Mr. Lester Guy, encouraged all individuals with a positive HIV test result to seek medical assistance.
Persons who are HIV positive and know that they are HIV positive do not come in care. I tell you, this is an immunocompromised disease. It's going to break down your immune system. If you don't come in care, at some point, you're going to get ill. There's no going around it. This is not a miracle cure. This is not a pray on it and it will go away. You will end up at the hospital at some time, and we are always hoping that if and when you do, it's not too late. It costs us a lot more when somebody presents at the hospital with an AIDS-related illness. It's a lot more for us in terms of costing than you taking medication for an entire year.
Mr. Guy says the stigma and discrimination surrounding HIV/AIDS limits the occurrence of an individual's decision to seek medical assistance.
People who are living to the ripe old age of 70 and 70 plus with HIV, how does that happen? Taking your medication, taking care of yourself, continue to live a productive life, continue to increase your quality of life. But where do we have that problem? It's because our community is not involved. Because people still see HIV as something that you should keep at arm's length. And this comes with the social injustice of stigma and discrimination. And we're trying our best to enlighten people. Inform yourself. Educate yourself.
And now your weather updates. A weak high-pressure system is expected to be dominant across the northern half of the Lesser Antilles, including Dominica, during the next 24 hours, resulting in a relatively dry atmosphere with limited shower activity. Relatively cooler temperatures can also be expected during the nights. Meanwhile, a trough is expected to continue affecting the islands to the south, producing scattered showers during the period. Moderate sea conditions are expected during the next 24 hours, with waves peaking near 7 feet. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Shakira Pear. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.